Hello Year 4, welcome back. I hope you all had a lovely half term, that you got some rest and that you managed to get out and enjoy the sunshine. So we are continuing with our home learning, and for the next few weeks in maths we're going to be looking at angles. So hopefully you guys have been looking at angles before, perhaps in Year 3, but I'm just going to remind you an angle is where two lines intersect. So the point at which they meet is an angle, and we can measure that space between them to see how big or how small an angle is. So over the next couple of days, we're going to be looking at right angles, we're going to be looking at acute angles, and we're going to be looking at obtuse angles. And you'll find out a little bit more about what they all mean over the course of the week. But for your tutorial today, I'm going to show you how to make something. You guys are going to need to make something called a right angle checker. So you're going to need to get a piece of paper, any shape. It can be a bit of scrap paper, it can be something that came through your post box, an old envelope, something you've written on. And you're going to take it, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half. And when you fold it, I want you to push along the crease nice and neatly, so it's nice and tight. Okay, so we've folded our piece of paper in half. We're now going to fold it in half again, keeping this straight line matching each other. So we're going to fold it, and we're going to make sure that our straight edges are lining up nice and neatly. Okay, and when you've done that, you can take the crease down and again pinch it down to make sure it's nice and tight. All right, so we folded it in half first of all, and then we folded it across, and we made sure that those edges lined up nice and neat. Okay, now what you've created here is what we call a right angle. Now a right angle, I always think it looks like the corner of a square or the corner of a rectangle. Okay, it's measured as 90 degrees. When we measure angles, we measure it in degrees. So a right angle is 90 degrees. Now when you've made your right angle checker, you can use this to check if an angle is a right angle or not. So for example, your task today is to go round your home to see what examples of a right angle you can find. And you're going to use your right angle checker to see if you are correct. So for example, I've got a book here, and I think the corner of this book is a right angle. I'm going to use my right angle checker to see if it is. So I'm going to take the corner of my now folded bit of paper, which made the right angle, and I'm going to hold it up against the corner of the book. Now I can see that the corner of the book lines up exactly with the right angle that I have created. So I know that this angle here is exactly a right angle. All right. You can also see the angles that are not. I'm going to use the example that I showed you before when we looked at what an angle was. And I'm going to take my right angle. I'm going to line it up at the bottom. So I can see the bottom line is lined up, but I can see the other line of my angle does not line up with the edge of my right angle checker. So that means that this angle here is not a right angle. Okay, so your task is to create your own right angle checker, making that perfect right angle, so you can go round your home to find as many examples of a right angle as possible. Use your right angle checker to check if you're not sure, and I want you to list the examples that you find in your book.